Oh hi, I'm David, and this video is my top 5 books on writing. Being an aspiring writer, I've read a lot of books on writing, and most of them are full of bullshit. So I wanted to bring you guys a list of books that will help you with writing, the craft of writing, or maybe just life itself. So, without further ado, let's jump right into my top 5. These are in no particular order, just my top 5 favorites. So, up first we've got a classic here, Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. This is a book I return to again and again. I love that it's written in kind of an anecdotal style, because that means you don't have to read each chapter consecutively. So after I read it the first time, now I love to return to it, if only just to skip around and refresh myself on things that I maybe have forgotten. The next book on my top 5 list is Plot and Structure by James Scott Bell? James Scott Bell. I got it right. Hot damn. But no. Plot and Structure by James Scott Bell. I really enjoy this one, and I'm even thinking about giving it a reread, because I found it very useful, but have since forgotten some of the things inside, because if you don't use it, you lose it. That is the most true rule ever. I feel like to truly learn things, you actually have to apply them to your craft. So I'm totally going to take a reread through this. I've got a couple things in it bookmarked. It's been quite some time, so I am overdue for a refresher through this bad boy. So again, this is one I would highly recommend. I think there's a whole series of books in this style on writing, and I would recommend probably just checking out any of those, because this one was very helpful, and I really enjoyed reading it. The next book is The Kickass Writer by Chuck Wendig, and this book is also written in a way that you don't have to read each chapter consecutively. You can just skip around a lot, which I think also does encourage rereadability. This one is actually really funny, so unlike the other books on writing that are a little bit more dry and to the point, or more about life or lifestyles, this one is very comedic and insightful in its own way. The next 2 books I actually don't have physical copies of, but I listened to the audiobook versions, and I actually really enjoyed Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. This book was more on life than writing itself, I think, but I just really enjoyed the narration and then just kind of like the insight on things, because I feel like she really knew what she was talking about in a lot of cases. The next book is On Writing, a Memoir of the Craft by Stephen King. This book was kind of short, but it's because it cut the bullshit, and if you're a fan of Stephen King, you'll learn a lot about him in this book. Also, you'll learn some on writing, and a little bit about life here and there, so that's all good in my opinion. Well, that was my top 5 books on writing, but before we finish, I've got some honorable mentions. The Successful Author Mindset by Joanna Penn, and Business for Authors, also by Joanna Penn. These are both great for beginning independent authors especially, because it's kind of like a crash course in all the things you need to know. Joanna Penn herself is a great resource for beginning or independent authors to keep up with, you know, the changes in the industry, and also learn some on the craft of writing and some tips and tricks, I suppose. So she definitely had to be in the honorable mentions, since she didn't quite make it on my list. The next book on my honorable mentions is one that I actually really want to read, and it is only because I've seen it recommended and talked so highly about everywhere by authors, and this one was actually recommended to me by my English teacher, again when the high school was getting rid of all the books no one had checked out in 20 years. But that would be The Elements of Style. This book is really short, so I'm sure it has no bullshit in it, and so that's one reason why I'm super stoked to get into this one, and also because it covers more of the technical side of writing, which I like, because a lot of times books on writing cover a lot on life and the craft, but not the absolute, like, technical part. So I'm glad that this is almost like a little handbook on the technical side of writing, so I can't wait to dive into this one. I also wanted to take a moment to announce something that has been in the link or the description of all my videos, but I've never actually announced it in a video. And I just wanted to let you guys know I had some cool things for sale on my Etsy shop. You can pick up some of the paintings that I have in the background of all my videos, or you could get any of an assortment of esoteric goods, I suppose. So please feel free to check that out. That would help me out a lot. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop me a like. Let me know in the comments what your favorite books on writing are, please, because I am always looking for more book recommendations. And until next time, read on.